8th grade math lesson 5.1 is writing linear equations from situations and graphs. We're still looking at this linear equation y equals mx plus b. We are going to be familiar with this equation inside, outside, and upside down. So we're going to keep building on your knowledge of it. Hopefully, slowly but surely, you've been getting more and more comfortable with slope and y-intercept and what they mean. And as we go into this next module, you're really going to build on that, what they mean, how to find them if they're missing. You already kind of know how to find them if they're missing anyway. What scenarios do they entail? So we're really going to get into that stuff. You probably are feeling okay about this equation anyway. So hopefully this building on to that is something that goes very smoothly. All right, so before we get into this first example they give us, let's remember the slope m is the amount that will be repeatedly changing depending on how often you do that. So whatever it is we're doing, it might cost this much, the slope amount, but we just don't know how many times we're going to repeatedly do that thing. The y-intercept is a one-time amount that you will pay, so or a one-time goal or something like that. It doesn't depend on how many times over and over again you're going to do something. It is just, that's it. So reminder, example, like bowling. If I went bowling, I would need to rent their shoes. They don't charge me per game for shoes. They just charge me to go for the shoes for however long I'm going to be there. There's the constant amount. How many games I play, maybe they charge me $3 for every game that I bowl. So it would be $3 for every game bowled, is because we don't know how many games I'm going to decide to bowl. That would be my X variable. So that's kind of a quick review of what those numbers represent. So let's take that and see if we can write this equation, y equals mx plus b, fill in the m and the b for Greta's clay mugs. Greta makes clay mugs and bowls as gifts at the Crafty Studio. She pays a membership fee of $15 per month and an equipment fee of $3 an hour to use the potter's wheel, table, and kiln. Write an equation in the form of y equals mx plus b that Greta can use to calculate her monthly cost. So for the month is what we're looking for. I'm going to underline what I am asked to do. Write an equation to calculate her monthly costs. Well, what is the constant amount that we know she has to pay for the month? It says she's got to pay the $15 for the month. That covers her for the whole month. But that only gives her membership to go in there. She still has to pay an amount that repeats over and over for every hour that she uses the kiln and all the supplies. She does $3 for every hour. So we're going to go ahead and put this in terms of y equals mx plus b. This is the month amount. She just pays that one time in the month. But how much it will cost her for that month will depend on how many times she goes, how many hours she goes. So it's $3 for every hour. X is going to be our hour. So that's the translation of this. And that's all they really want you to do is do the translation. So I'm going to take y equals, what is the amount that can change depending on how many hours she goes? It's the $3. 3, however, X represents however many hours that she goes for that month. Plus, what does she always have to pay for the month? She has to pay $15 fee. So her monthly expense, Y, is going to be 3 times however many hours she goes for that month, plus the $15 fee for the month. So that's it. It's just writing it in that y equals mx plus b format. So the previous one was a really good one to see translating from English to mathese. Let's take a look. So sometimes it won't always just be presented to us in English for us to translate into math language, mathese. Maybe they give us a graph, and so let's go ahead and see what happens when they give us that information. So we're just putting puzzle pieces together. You already are pretty comfortable with what each of these things mean. Y equals mx plus b. This is my y-intercept. And look at on my graph. I'm going to have this straight line that intersects with y-axis at a positive 8. So sometimes it stands out that easily for you. So we have a video club charging a one-time membership fee plus a rental fee for each DVD borrowed. Use the graph to write an equation in slope-intercept form to represent the amount spent Y on X DVD rentals. So we have some membership fee that we need to pay up front. It says they charge us a one-time membership fee. But then to rent the videos or the DVDs, they charge you for a certain amount per DVD. So we have a one-time fee, which is my wipe Intercept, and then a fee for each DVD that we borrowed. We don't know how many DVDs we will rent that month, but we can figure out what the fee is. That's the slope M. So first thing I'm going to do is take care of the easiest one. What is the membership fee? If this is our graph for the membership cost, here is our first fee. We start with the $8 that we pay up front. So I can go ahead and just plug that in there. It gave it to me right there. Sometimes it is right there. All right. Now I need to, let's go ahead and put this and the X and the Y. And now I need to calculate my slope M. Well, I have all kinds of these dots on the line. I could use my rise over run to find a spot on the line if I wanted to. Kind of hard to find. I'd have to find a dot that is exactly right on the intersection there to make sure I got it right. So that's one way. If you wanted to do rise over run to a perfect point and then reduce that, you could do that like you did from the previous lesson, 4 point whatever it was, 4.4, 4.3. The other way is our trusty dusty M equals Y2 minus Y1 over X2 minus X1. So just choose 2 points and use that. Your preference, your choice. I'll go with this one because it's good to practice. So I'm going to use for my first point 0 and 8. Why not? Why not use the simplest number? So 0 on the X, 8 on the Y, right? Then I'm going to look for something that's perfectly touching an intersection. No. Here we go. This is 8 on the X, and it looks like these are counting by 2, so that's 18 on the Y. So 8 on the X and 18 on the Y. Now, M equals Y2 minus Y1 over X2 minus X1. Plug in my numbers. Y, well, if it helps you, put these on here. X, Y, this is my first choice, and this is my second choice. Put the pieces of information on your pages that help you. So I need a Y2, 18. Y1, this is Y, this is 1, 8. My over X2, that's 8, minus X1, 0. Calculate, 18 minus 8 is 10. 8 minus 0 is 8. Reduce that. 2 divides evenly into both of those. 2 goes into 10 5 times. 2 goes into 8 4 times. I can leave that as a fraction. That's okay because we like our slopes as fractions anyway. So 5 over 4 is the slope. So I have technically written this in slope-intercept form. There we go. There it is in your book if they wanted the answer, because we're talking about money here, aren't we? This is DVDs. We're talking about money here. So they might want you to go ahead and change that to a decimal because we do monies in decimals. So 5 divided by 4. 4 goes into 5 once, so it's $1 something. 1 left over. 4 goes into 10 twice. That gives me 8 with 2 left over. 4 goes into 25 times. So Y is $1.25 per video plus the $8 fee. When I know at the end of the month how many videos I will watch, then I can calculate all that out to find out how much it costs me for the month. Sometimes they might just give me a description of something and I need to piece things together in a way that I know I can move forward with it. So let's start by reading the challenge here. The rent charged for space in an office building is a linear relationship related to the size of the space rented. Write an equation in slope-intercept form for the rent at West Main Street office rentals. So they want me writing in slope-intercept form the rent at West Main Street office rentals. And they did give us information, just not in the word problem. Over here to the side, you see, they gave us some information. Oh, I didn't circle that well because it's now covering a piece of information. Let me just kind of bloop. There we go. All right. So I have this information. 600 square feet is $750 to rent. 900 square feet is $1,150 to rent. And my brain's kind of like, I don't even know where to start. Start with something to organize the data to make it make sense. Let's go to a table. Let's make a table. So let's call X the square feet and Y the amount of money for that square feet. And they told us that 600 square feet is $750. And they told us that 900 square feet is $1,150. Okay, and now my brain is probably going to the fact that this uses XY coordinate, XY coordinate, XY coordinate. If I know two XY coordinates, I can find the slope. So let's go ahead and write those as coordinates because maybe your brain needs to see them as coordinates. So we have when X is 600, Y is 750 for that coordinate. And the next one is when X is 900, Y is 1,150. Let's do the slope. M equals Y2 minus Y1 over X2 minus X1. Y2 is 1150, Y1 is 750. So 1,150 minus 750 over X2 is 900, X1 is 600. 900 minus 600. 1,150 minus 750, that's 750, 850, 950, 1050, 1150, that's 400. And 900 minus 600 is 300. That reduces down to 4/3. Okay, so that got me to the point that I know now that my slope M is 4/3. Y equals 4/3 X plus, I still don't know my Y-intercept though, and I really don't see anything that gives me any hint in there. I'm not sure. So let's go ahead and do a trick that we can use. We know that this is going to be Y equals 4/3 X plus B, and I could just plug in X, Y there and leave B as the unknown and solve for B. So kind of a manipulation. Math is about manipulation, right? So this is X, this is Y. Let's put the 600 for X and calculate it, and the 750 for Y, and then we only have one variable. We will solve for B. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to put 750 from here as the Y coordinate equals 4/3 times, and I'm going to use the X coordinate for that 750, 600 plus B. I'm going to make 600 a fraction because I'm going to be multiplying it by a fraction. Cross reduce, 3 goes into 3 once and 3 goes into 600 200 times. And 200 times 4 is 800. Bring down what we haven't done yet. Now I'm down to that one-step equation like I did way back in 6th grade. I want to isolate this variable. A positive 800's hanging out with him. I'm going to undo that by using an inverse or opposite operation. Opposite of positive 800 is negative 800. But I have to do the same to the other side. And this calculation right here, I have $800 in my, oh no, I owe $800. I have $750 in my pocket. I am still gonna owe $50. There's the calculation. And I have just found out that my Y-intercept is negative 50. So slope-intercept form, Y equals 4/3 X minus 50 or plus negative 50. It's the same thing. That's how you can solve for B when you don't have the information. You can use an XY coordinates that you have, plug them into the equation so that your only variable is B.